So here, Gloria. The dog's upper lip kept curling in his sleep as I was drawn to the leftward to watch his long, sharp jaw and sick brown color gums, the teeth flashing even as he dreamed. Maximus is a whelping mother giving birth with the crunch of his own pelvis. He sent flowers on the waves from the mole of Tyre. He went to Malta, from Malta to Marseille, from Marseille to Iceland, from Iceland to Promontorium, Finlandiae. Flowers go out on the sea. On the left of the Promontorium Settlement Cove, I am making a mappamundi. It is to include my being. It is called here, at this point of time, Peloria. November 12th, 1961.
You know, you put them in such words where, it might take a poetry reader to understand it right away and what he was talking about, but then someone like me that doesn't read poetry, maybe I'd have to read the same verse 5 times before I understood what exactly he was talking about.
Love is desire, just plainly. The rest of it, the rest of love is the same as life, how well it stands up.
He had a real good feeling for, what gloss was really all about. And I think that's what disturbed him, that he saw that was disappearing. But everything changes.
If you were to go back and look at the first line of the Kingfishers, what does not change is the will to change. And if there's anything that could help the world today, it would certainly be change. For me, that's his legacy. He informed everyone who read him that we do have the ability to change, that we don't have to resign ourselves to what we're handed, what we inherit, that we can create new forms.
It's my first time here, and I'm very happy to discover that the city seems to be, in a way, the same. I came to see a Polis, and I wasn't disappointed. It seems that it is still, in a way, the Polis Olson described and imagined.
I wrote a poem on a postcard, that snappy way you do. These days, this is to Bill Williams, penny postcard. These days, whatever you have to say, leave the roots on, let them dangle in the dirt, just to make sure where they come from.
When he came to visit me in Connecticut, first thing I said to him, because he moved in for really the rest of his life, I'm surprised you want to leave Gloucester. It's Root City. He uses the phrase Root City. I said, after all, it's Root City. And he yelled like, I don't have any roots in that city. There was a sense that it hadn't come out like, it hadn't really worked in the way that he had imagined in 1950, in the intervening 20 years. Things just got worse as he lived on, and he wasn't really forging a republic on Watch House Point after all. I was visiting here, and I had to borrow his beach wagon, which had no reverse on it. I went out to get some sandwiches. All of a sudden, I discovered there's no reverse. I managed to get back, but how do you back up? How do you park? How do you do? And so I came back, and I said, there's no reverse on your car. And he looked at me as if there should be no reverse on any car, and said, let me tell you something. Never get yourself in a position where you have to go backward. When he's dying, I'd come to the hospital. We're going to get him into the ambulance and take him to New York. He was going there to have an operation for liver cancer. The ambulance drivers wheeled Olson down to the ambulance, and you go in head first. But he stopped that and screamed that this is no way. I go forward only. One point he wakes up and he recited the speech from King Lear. Poor naked wretches, wheresoe'er you are. And then he started to feel the pain, and was in intense pain, and wanted painkillers, but the ambulance drivers had no painkillers. They had nothing but water. They soon drank all the water. So he grabbed my arm and would squeeze it like white with his pain. He wanted 10 more years. He wanted, of course, 100 more years. If he were alive today, he'd still be doing this. Because again, it was his way of living. It wasn't a way of writing poems. It wasn't my book will be finished. He would have continued and continued.
I set out now in a box upon the sea. I'm going to hate to leave this earthly paradise.
Maximus gives me more an idea of the span of possibility of time, and how to draw all of these things together. And all the different views sort of radiate from one moment, which becomes that eternal present.
The thing rather than the sort of symbol of something else, always the particular thing.
One thing that really impresses me about this, just coming from also a small town, trying to get people to figure out why, the field that they used to play, fly a kite in or something has become a Walmart.
This, I think, is crucial. The local is not a place, but a place in a given man. What part of it he has been compelled or else brought by love to give witness to in his own mind. And that is the form. That is the whole thing, as whole as it can get.
The making, the process, and what you see and who you are, it's one whole thing. That's very important. That's a very different way of writing also. Not only a reading or writing or understanding. It's one whole thing.
Now, early year, Mars blowing crazy lights at night, and as I write in the day, light snow covering the water and crossing the air between me and the city. Love the world and stay inside it. Concentrate one's own form, holding every automorphism. Thank you.
Welcome. In behalf of my father, thank you for all coming. It's a good thing that poetry is still alive, and I think it's good that the society is manifesting these ideas that my father stuck his life on. I think if he was here today, he'd be smiling, and he would love all of this attention. So, was this a mechanical work I had to do?
This was some mechanical
It looks like they already put the sign up there.
No.
I believe there is simply ourselves, and where we are has a particularity which we better use, because that's about all we got. I mean, otherwise we're running around looking for somebody else's stuff. The streets you live on, or the clothes you wear, or the color of your hair. The truth lies solely in what you do with it, and that means you. Yeah. I'll face the future. That way, not there over there. That's home, and that's it. And there's the future.
Old Father Pelopes, otherwise known as Mudface, founder of Dogtown.